So the gear shifts are quick. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're gonna be going over a 2021 Jeep Gladiator Mojave. You guys can see the Jeep is all flexed out, but first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Jeep Cresta here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the Mojave. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. And look at that level of flex right there. That is absolutely astounding. And this other tire over here on the other side, like it looks like it's about to pop off the ground. Like that is pretty cool. And then obviously coming around to the front, you guys can see all the action that's happening on the front here at the flex, but yeah, pretty neat. Well, normally I would film it in this flex position, but it's right by the main road, which would be really loud for you guys. So we have to very slowly pop off this rock. Ooh, that shook a little bit, but you guys can see how easy that was. And now we're like in a normal position and life is good. But yeah, you guys can see how easy that was to like I mean, obviously that's nothing crazy. You guys probably do stuff crazier on the off-road, but yeah, different thing for one of my reviews. Now under the hood we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 17 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 285 horsepower and then 260 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end on this 2021 Mojave. So you still get the really cool venting here in the front on the hood. Again, that thing looks so cool. And then you've got the two areas you're going to lower down the windshield onto it. Got the Mojave sticker there on this side. And then this one just has the base model lights, so they're just the halogen bulbs. And then you can see you've got the incandescent turn signals just next to it. Signature Jeep front grille, and then you've got orange tow hooks, which is one of the ways you can tell it's a Mojave. And then you got the plastic bumper, fog light right there at the bottom. But overall, nothing's changed since this was released in 2020, so it's all the same. And hello, Ben Shadow. Coming around the side here, we've got 285mm tires on 17-inch wheels. They are 33s with the Mojave. And then we've got the Fox internal bypass shocks in the Mojave, so you guys can see how beefed up that is. Obviously, it's going to be better for kind of like higher speed off-roading on the Mojave. And then you can see the pattern here on the tires is the same as what I have in my Ford Raptor. I actually really like this tire. And then you can see you've got Jeep and then Gladiator there on the side. And this new paint color looks actually pretty good on a Gladiator, but there's your full side view. Oh, that's just a wheel well, just kidding. Here's the shocks here in the rear. And just like in a Raptor, you can see you've got the two sets, which is pretty cool to look at. If you look at a Rubicon, there's only going to be one. So that's one of the easy ways to tell, other than the stickers, that this is a Mojave versus a Rubicon. Now let's take a look at the bed here. So you can see this one doesn't have a bed liner. It's super easy to add after the fact though. But we can see we've got LED lights here in the bed, and you got the little tiny window back there. No cargo light though, which is a little bit sad. But other than that, this is a pretty normal sized bed for a mid-sized pickup truck. Now let's go over the rest of the rear. Again, this has the base model light, so it does not have the LEDs here in the back. Orange tow hooks again, so that you know it's a Mojave. Got the little tow package, which towing capacity is roughly right around 7,000 pounds. And then you've got a little Jeep logo back there, again with orange outlining. But yeah, just appreciate this color while it still lasts in your visual field. And by the way, this one does not have the body painted top, obviously. Now let's look at the door panel here in the back. So you've got like your normal soft touch right here. You got a little net, and I've always liked the door handles on the Wranglers and on the Gladiators. And then you can see on the back of the seat, and then another little net right there. And then even though these are the cloth seats, because it's kind of like a base model, you still get the cool orange stitching on the seats. Interesting pattern here with the cloth. And you've got a bunch of goodies back here in the boxes. Obviously it's filling up the space here. But you've got a couple of vents back there. You've got your window controls just down below. And then you got a power outlet with a couple of cup holders. And don't worry, I can still fit in here with the boxes. I know I'm gonna get a bunch of comments saying, Ben, you should just take the boxes out. But like, when you go off-roading, you're probably gonna have it loaded up to the brim anyways. So like, someone's gonna have to sit back here with like all your luggage. So like, I'm just testing it out from that perspective. But you guys can see I'm 5'11". I got a good amount of headroom. Legroom is good. I've just kind of squished, but again, this is all in the name of like reviewing this with like a bunch of stuff in the back, okay? Trust me, it makes sense if you don't think about it. Now here is the door panel at the front. Again, you've got the soft touch here on the side, and then that cool little door handle. You've got your mirror adjustments, your window controls as well. The mirrors are heated if you were wondering. And then here's the seats at the front. They say Mojave on it, so when you got someone getting into the Jeep, then they know you got a Mojave, right? Again, more of that orange stitching in the cloth seats. They are manually adjustable with all the adjustments. I've always liked this little loop thing. It's pretty cool. And then you've got the pedal layout at the bottom. You got your light controls all right here, but there's one more look before we actually pop in. Now here's a look at the steering wheel in the Mojave. So even in the base model, you still get the smooth leather at the top and the bottom, and then the perforated leather on the side. So it's still a really nice steering wheel. Orange stitching again, because it's a Mojave. Got your cruise control right here. You got the controls for center stack, voice command controls, all that. Radio controls in the back, so volume and then channel. And then we can see over there your windshield wiper stock, and then you get your turn signal stock. But yeah, solid that they give you the nicer steering wheel. Now here's the gauge cluster. You've got the RPMs on the left side and the right side. You've got the speed, and then there in the center, you can see it gives you different bits of information like your current fuel economy, for example, and then you've got a little off-road status, which is also very important, especially in this. Hopefully you guys take this off-road if you buy one of these. But yeah, good little digital readout. They've got this on most of the newer Jeeps, so you should be familiar with it. Now here on the center screen, we'll pop to the backup camera first. So you actually do get zoom in on the backup camera if you are hooking up to a trailer. But in terms of the rest of it, and by the way, it's distorted at the bottom because of the plastic covering that the first owner gets to take off. But anyways, you got trajectory lines that'll turn with the steering wheel. If you guys are wondering, an easy way to tell if this has the front camera is you go to the controls tab, and if it only has backup camera right there, that means it doesn't have the front camera as well. But we still get heated seats and a heated steering wheel. And then with the rest of the applications, you can see response time with this is pretty good. If you guys are running on the climate system, it is a dual zone climate. And then we do have the off-road pages. I'm just gonna leave this here so you guys can kind of see how long it takes for this to load up. So appreciate the loading screen, as well as the circular vents on either side, and you get the little Gladiator going across. But basically shows you that same thing in the center, and then you have like your accessory gauges, pitch and roll. So like it really shows you all the same stuff you can see here in the gauge cluster, but instead it's in the infotainment system. So I guess it's cool. Down here we've got all of the radio and climate controls. So you got radio on the sides, climate here in the center, and then your heated seats, heated steering wheel button right there. And then I love how they do like depictions of little Jeeps for this. That's your off-road cruise control. Stability control, if you don't like the auto stop start, you can turn that bad boy off. Got window controls here in the center. Got the little media station is what they kind of call it. And then remember, this is the Mojave, so you only get rear locker, and then you do not get a sway bar disconnect like in the Rubicon. You got the off-road plus, and then this is the drive line select, so your 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high neutral, and then 4-wheel low, and then your shifter for the 8-speed automatic. And yes, you can shift the gears yourself if you'd like. Just got to use the bump stick, and that's all for that part. Coming over next to it, we've got the traditional e-brake, a couple of cup holders, and then lifting up this center console hasn't changed, so I got the cable thread through all of that. And then they got the orange around the vents and then the gray at the top, which looks pretty neat. And you can see here in the glove box, pretty normal with that, but that's all. Up top here, you've got little levers for the top. Remember, it does have the Freedom top, and in all my Jeep videos, I always recommend get the insulation. It'll help out with road noise, wind noise, all that kind of stuff, especially on the interstate. If you do plan on driving this on the interstate, you do have to use tools on the back part. The front part, you obviously don't. So that's everything for the top. Nothing with the mirror, it's just normal mirror. So appreciate my camera and my hand, and yeah. So you can see here, 2021 Jeep Gladiator Mojave. You've got the base price right there, and then Snazberry Pearl Coat. That is the fruitiest, most flamboyant name ever. Anyways, you guys can see the standard equipment right here, interior features just down below. And then you can see the rest of the exterior features, and then we can see all the optional equipment. $245 to have a fruity paint job. Anyways, I'm gonna get off the paint, but you can see all the optional equipment. There's your total MSRP, $53,130. Let's take this Gladiator out and see how it drives. Let's quickly talk about visibility here on the Mojave. So you can see visibility over the hood, really solid. And then there's your visibility through both of the mirrors. And then here's all throughout the rear. So unchanged compared to any other Gladiator. One thing to note is just that back pillar right here. That is a little bit of a blind spot, but it's not bad at all. And that all being said, let's set off. As you can see, we are setting off here in the 2021 Gladiator Mojave. And you guys already know that I like this package just for how it rides, especially around town. So let's get into the ride quality and the road noise. So from a road noise perspective, it's pretty windy today, and like I said, this one doesn't have the insulation, so you can hear quite a bit compared to like a normal vehicle. So if I compare this to like a normal SUV or truck, it's definitely going to be below average in terms of insulation in the cabin. And then in terms of how it just rides over the road, definitely feels more stable, more planted compared to a Rubicon. So if you want something that's a little bit smoother, then the Mojave is going to be the route to go on road. And it just feels like it handles a little bit better. Like I just feel like I have more stability overall. From the engine noise, you do have to rev it out quite a bit just to get up to speed, so it definitely is a little bit louder. And going over this little corner right here, yeah, I mean, stuff doesn't really upset it all that much at all. And like, I can hear so much wind noise. This is crazy. I did just check if the windows were all closed. They are, but you can just hear so much coming into the cabin. And let's see how the brakes perform up here. Yeah, so from a stopping power perspective, it's actually really solid. Thank goodness we get a break in the traffic for once. So we're gonna get our minor acceleration here. So this is gonna be like partial throttle. Does take a second to get up to speed for sure. I mean, nobody ever gave these a speeding ticket or anything like that, but we're going in the manual mode for full-blown acceleration. Gear shifts are relatively responsive. We're starting out of second gear if you guys are wondering. So the gear shifts are quick. Definitely quick, definitely responsive. From a power perspective, it does struggle a little bit on road, and I can hear so much wind noise. Again, definitely a lot of wind noise in general. So like as an overall package, it's definitely solid, and I imagine obviously on the off-road it's going to be a whole lot better. And let's actually get into summing things up with this Gladiator. So if you're looking for a fun Jeep that is actually comfortable to drive on road as well as have a lot of off-road capability, this is going to be the route to go. Yes, it's not as capable as a Rubicon from the perspective that it doesn't have front and rear lockers, only has a rear locker, and it also doesn't have the sway bar disconnect. However, again, it's capable enough, and you'd be better, you have better stability at high speeds and all that. So like, again, as like an overall package, I feel like it's pretty solid. So check out a Gladiator Mojave. That is going to sum things up for today's video on the 2021 Jeep Gladiator Mojave. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the Mojave. Check out the inventory in the link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.